Stuff in my teeth. Hello, friends.
Brain Candy, episode 815. We're back.
8:15. How are you,
Just
Suze?
when you thought we were gone for good.
No, nobody's thinking that. We're here forever.
Nobody's thinking that, Suze.
I'm
Hi.
here forever.
How
You
are
are the relationship that I just can't quit.
Aw, forever and ever.
Yes.
Thanks.
These are my people.
That's so
My
nice.
people listening. Yes.
I hope you mean it.
I do mean it.
What if
I
we
mean
get
it because
divorced?
no, Susie, it'll never happen. Here's why I know it. Why do you threaten with such things? They say you're not supposed to
Threaten.
talk about that in like a healthy relationship. Don't bring up the D word like that.
I
Come
didn't
on.
know that. Okay.
Well, I'd say that. Like you
Yeah,
can't
that makes
threaten with
sense.
divorce. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I know that everybody listening is like my family because they did such an amazing job taking care of me when I was going through my surgery and just
Yeah.
all of the changes that I've been going through, and they like talk about an amazing like community. And
They're
I
always
think,
rooting for you. I know that.
and their support kind of showed me what my needs are and what things I want in like the people I surround myself with and community and all that.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm ready to talk about what I want to talk about for the beginning of this part.
Okay, let's do it.
I had to say goodbye to Eli.
She said goodbye.
Yeah, we broke up.
That's a nice way to say it.
Well, I don't, because
They
it
said
feels like
goodbye.
I broke up with Eli. Sounds so like harsh, but I mean that was really it. But
It's
you
like
know.
so euphemistic and gentle. It's very nice.
That's how I
feeling.
am. I try to be nice because I love Eli and the person that he is, but I just needed a little bit more as far as like the kind of support I'm looking for from a partner. And like
Yeah.
the
Are you trying-
Brainiacs were so
Yeah, like are you connecting the dots between those two things?
yeah, that I need a lesbian, that I need a woman. This is the problem.
This is what I've been
Like
trying to drill
I feel
into
like
your head.
even my therapist's like, gee, maybe you don't know whoever. I don't even know if it was my
Sherry Teller.
therapist.
Because
Somebody was like, maybe you'd get that kind of things that you need from somebody who wasn't. And like,
okay, well, I
Yep.
agree with that. As you know, I've been like really annoyed that you even use the label of queer or
Right.
whatever you are, pan, second.
I don't even say any of that. I say I present as straight.
I present. I'm not asking how you present. I'm asking what your attraction is. And so, like, every time you were single and would date all these bozo dudes, everyone, not just me, was like, okay, so you're now opening that door.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm opening the door. I'm not going on any of the dating apps because that is not something I want to do. I feel like this next person I'm going to be set up with, like, and I have to take a long time. I just want to be.
We'll
like,
see.
Yeah, I will.
I'm just teasing you.
I swear. The
Sarah.
crazy thing is that now, with menopause being a thing and having all those reproductive organs removed, I have to burp. Hang on.
Oh,
Excuse me.
this is going to be great.
Edit that out. Edit that out.
I will not.
I just tried to chow down some eggs before because I'm like, I want to drink some
man.
wine. So I like ate some eggs before and now I ate too fast.
I
what
want
was
to say
saying?
to the audience that even though they may be learning about this like as new information, I've known for a long time. So I am teasing her because it's not like this is some raw wound we're
Right, no.
nursing right
Could you
now.
imagine? No, Susie was the best. Because Susie was like, Sarah, what kind of love do you want on Valentine's Day? And what are how do you want to feel appreciated? And you said,
Is it nothing or something? Just quick question. Do you want nothing
yeah.
or literally anything?
And I keep going to all these lesbian weddings and they're so fucking cute. And I'm like, yeah, I want that. I want little journals of messages to each other. And I want I want that. I want like cute notes written on the refrigerator. I want like photo albums. I want
I think
paint
what
nights.
the Leses would ask, though, and maybe they wouldn't. They're probably just so happy at this news they don't give a shit what the answer is. But like, would you say you're attracted to this women, or is it just that you want journal notes?
No, I'm definitely attracted just as much as I am a man.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that thing? Is it pansexual where you're just like fine with it's not the gender that is interesting to you, it's like the person.
Yeah.
Is that what they're
Exactly.
into?
I mean, I
I
think
feel
so.
like that's what you must be then. Because
Definitely.
if you don't care. Okay.
No, I do not care. I have no.
Okay.
I just want love, and I want to feel like if, God forbid, something happened to me in the future, like that somebody would be there to take care of me in a way that feels good to me, and that's all I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. What do you
You
think's the issue with your picker?
Oh my God.
What's
This is,
that?
it's definitely, because this is what my therapist says, what my mom says, blah, 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 that I get so much out of being the giver in relationships that I tend to gravitate towards people who love that fact about me and are not as comfortable when the tables are turned or when I ask for, me to be the
Anything?
priority. Yeah, because it feels so good. Like, and I'm like, oh yes, I love taking care of somebody. I love being there for somebody. I love like being the giver. I love like
Yeah, you're
doing all-
nurturing
I
and
love
also
nurturing.
really laid back. Like you don't mind. You're like, yeah, sure, whatevs.
Yeah, go with
Like,
the flow.
where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You're
Yeah,
fine
but
with
then
anything.
and that could be like an abrupt change of pace for somebody who that like when now I'm like, I need to go this direction. We need to do this. This is how I need you to support me. And they're like, what? That's so different than how it's been for 2 years.
Yeah, right. Wait, you need lunch?
So
I'm sorry. I'll stop. I'll stop.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm doing like solo Sarah once again. And it's okay. Like I think I saw this thing it's probably on Instagram. It's like this meme that said, or like image that said, what would your wisest mind do? What would your bravest mind do? Or what would your wisest self do? What would your bravest self do? And what would your kindest self do? And in all of those situations, I really thought about it, and I was like, my kindest self would just like put myself first in these situations and know that like nobody's ever gonna like prioritize me more than me, and I should prioritize me, and this is how I have to do that right now. And that was like hard to come to terms with, to say like I have to say goodbye to something that like I do like love, and I love somebody that I like hanging out with and have such a good time with and like laugh with, and like and say like I want somebody who I can also rely on in like the really tough times, and like that, how we communicate in those tough times is more matched to what like my needs are. And that was like a hard thing to put myself first like that. But
It is. That is really hard because you keep I from experience, at least in my case, I know that feeling of like you just want the person that you like or love to just do the right thing. Or like be who
all
you
the
want
things.
them to
Right.
be. And you keep thinking, "Oh, I know we can get you there." And that can be a real long road and often is futile.
Yeah. It's and the other thing I thought about was it's not my job to force somebody to love me the way I want to be loved, like make somebody show up how I want. Like it's not my job to like, I want you to be like this. It's my job to sit back and like be myself and love in the way that I love, and then observe how somebody else loves me and say, yeah, that's for me, or no, that's not for me. And so in what I've allowed, like I got to get better at vetting and saying like what is for me in the beginning or what's not for me in the beginning, because I tend to allow it all in and then observe after a while and go, no, that's not for me. And
well, because you want to be accommodating.
yeah,
I mean, I think that's a common thing that we all do. When you're dating, you don't want to be like, oh, and by the way, like you don't want to be taskmaster or something
Right.
early on.
Yeah. And so the good thing is, like, last time I went through some heartache, it felt like I had much more wounded heart. Like, I felt more like, oh,
Raw.
I have to, like, I have to shut down my heart and I'll never love again kind of thing. And, and made Eli, like, really work to, like, for me to even get to the point to say I love you. And now I don't feel like that as much. I don't feel as much like closed off as I thought I would. I really thought that it was going to be like, oh my gosh, if I have to do this all over again.
Why
if
do
I
you
have
think
to, like,
that is?
I think it's because I'm getting to know myself more, and I feel more than ever in my whole life. I mean, I guess this is the whole point of aging. I feel like I know who I am and what I bring to the table and the kind of person that I am, and like how worthy of love I am, as cliche as that sounds. But I do feel like that. And I feel like, oh, when I'm not, I don't know, like, we talk about a bunch of weird stories on here, people who do weird things, and I'm like, oh, we watch a bunch of documentaries. Maybe it's all that. I'm like, I watch documentaries where I'm like, oh, these guys found love. Oh, I could just be myself.
Amazing.
And the more I just witness somebody accepting this version of me, the easier it is for me to find people in my life who I click with. And I feel like that's what we've done on the podcast, is that I'm the most authentic version of me, like, ever on here. And through that, we've, like, created an amazing community of people who show up and support me in, like, literally the exact way that I need when I'm going through my stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, my brain candy brainiacs, like, got me a whole care package. And so many kind friends did. You did. They're like, oh, Sarah needs games. Sarah needs, like, I that's what I needed. I need a partner who's going to be like, oh, right, Sarah's on the couch. Here we go. We're going to get her a remote control helicopter, and we're going to set up a hula hoop obstacle course, and we're then going to have races with this, and we're going to invite her friends over, and we're going to, like, make the living room into a fort because she can only sleep in the living room, and she's been stuck there for 6 weeks.
If you're listening, I don't want any of that under any circumstances. So
right, we're not all the same. This is what I realized. Somebody else is going to so appreciate the way that Eli shows up and the way that he plans things and what person that he is, but it's just different than how I want what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, you hear that, lesbians? Sarah's on the market.
Yeah.
It's go time. Everybody stay calm. Let the chips fall.
I could just see who our brainiacs are. We could do that meme of, like, it's not a drill.
It's like on The Office when there's that fire.
Yes.
The cat's in the ceiling. Well, I can bet my bottom dollar that whenever Sarah gets back on the dating train, she'll be Lola V-ing her hair right on up.
I'm not waiting. I'm already doing that. Hello, I'm prepping it. Please, I got like 2 months of grooming to do before I get out there into the dating world.
That's so true. It takes a minute. That's right. She's got to get stage ready, show ready. And so thank God, Lola V, as you know, I always say I would buy this stuff just for the smell of it.
Oh, it does smell. It
What's
smells
that salt
like
and pepper song?
luxurious.
Just for the hell of it. Just for the smell I get.
For the smell of it.
Yeah. It's so great. Lincoln, by the way, this is a 10 out of 10 game to play with your son, especially. He was in the tub yesterday and he was like, show me stuff from, like, your makeup bag and your, like, getting ready routine, and I'll try to guess what it is. It is the funnest game because way off. I mean, but one of the things was the detangler, and he definitely did not get it right. It was just a bottle, though. I don't know what. It was so confusing, but yes. That detangler
is a magic.
Yeah, it's front and center. That stuff is great. And all their products are amazing. I know. You're the curly girl. People listen to you more. You should say it.
Well, and where is it? Their brush. Oh, I usually have it right next to me.
Yeah, the wet
Holy crud. I will never brush my hair.
That's essential.
Yeah, it feels like anything else is going to break my hair. And my hair is now, oh God, look, everybody tells me it's the longest it's ever been.
It's the longest I've seen you with for
Yeah.
sure.
It's mermaid status.
Yep. She's a mermaid. Thanks to
Yeah.
Lola V. Unlock Jennifer Aniston approved hair at lolav.com. As our loyal listeners, you get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use code BRAIN at checkout. That's 15% off your order at LOLAVIE.com with promo code BRAIN. Please note you can only use the promo code one time per order, and discounts can be combined. Wait, I want to say that right. Please note you can only use one promo code per order, and discounts can't be combined. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Your hair will thank you. I have this one little thingy that's like it looks like a little scraper like that you would have in your kitchen, but it's for like getting lotion out. If the bottle's almost
like
empty.
little tiny spatula.
I got that out, and Lincoln was like, and he was totally serious. He was like, "Does it go in your mouth?"
Well, that's a good guess. It's
It
like
is.
small and
Like a tongue
mouth
depressor or
size.
something.
But
so
the care and
funny.
concern in the voice is really
And
quite hilarious.
it makes you realize how silly a lot of like women's stuff
They're
is.
so silly.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I'm going to do all of it. I don't care.
So you're feeling
Yes.
good though. You're feeling.
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like, prioritizing me. I'm feeling like, I do really well single.
Mm.
Don't you feel like that?
Yeah. When I first met you, and then I visited your house
Yeah.
when you were single, and you were in Long Beach, and you had
Yeah.
this little bungalow kind of apartment, and I was like, she's got her shit together. Like you
Yeah.
really nailed
Yeah.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to get cozy. I'm going to set up shop, and I'm going to just be. So we were talking about my picker too, and
Yeah.
I am going to really work with my therapist. This is what I set new goals to do, is work with my therapist to be aware when I'm triggered or rejecting somebody who's also a giver, and when they want to take care of me. Because there's something that I'm doing in the very beginning where I'm like, nope, I'm like, this is.
It makes you uncomfortable or something.
Yeah. So I have to be raising my awareness to what those kind of things are that I'm doing that make me feel like I have to I don't know, whatever it is, I have to in a way, take control by being my giving
Power
self.
through
and,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I'm gonna resist all urges, and it has been so nice because every friend group that I go to and say hey, I broke up with Eli, and da-da-da, they're like, oh my God, I have somebody I need to set you up with. I've been thinking about this for so long, and I think you'd be great with them. And they spend the next hour selling me on that person. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. There are people there. I think that we all need to just lose the idea that there's a too old to find love, or it's too late kind of thing, because that's bullshit. I think that you could find love at any age, and people all the time want love.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. Men, women, there is so much of it. Your brain will tell you in the beginning, nope, they're all gone, all the people, it's just you on this planet. But that, in a way, I think is to make you take action and look,
Mm-hmm.
And
So your brain, it's like you think you're in musical chairs, and there's just no more chairs, and you're
right.
out.
And then you have to be like, oh, where's that? Wait, there are chairs all over the place.
There are.
Yeah, you just have to look outside of and your brain will be like, what about this person? No, we're not thinking of those people. We're just opening our mind up to saying there's so many chairs.
Well, all right. I mean,
So she's like, no chairs. Sorry.
no, there's so many chairs. I just want to make sure the next go round
Yeah.
that there are no duds.
No duds.
Happening.
Here's my rule. I will be moving in with no one.
You heard it here.
Hard rule.
This is a contract.
Hard contract. Verbal fucking written in blood. Let's do it.
Why is that such
Little
a
Mermaid.
thing for you? I agree, but I just want you to articulate it.
Because I feel like every situation I see, it gets better for the man and worse for the woman.
Well, yeah, or the giver and the taker.
Or the giver or the taker,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Which,
yeah, and yeah, or like it just because I would be good taking care of myself in those situations, but I got to take care of myself and somebody else as I'm going through this thing. I'm like, I can't take care of you and me in this thing. So I think that I need to just, if I have to move out of another space and like do and
how about
they just like sit back and like don't have to do anything. I mean, not like there wasn't help offered, but like, what am I going to do? Oh yeah, please clean out my beauty drawer please clean out all my nail polish, like my nail polish box with me. No, please pack up my podcast gear. No, I can't do that. He was very good. I was like, just like separate the kitchen and tell me what's yours and what's mine, And I'm like crazy now. I'm like, that frother that you one time borrowed and took to your office that we got from a sponsor? I'm going to need that back. I was like that. I'm
kidding. Glad because
I'm like, I have lost so much shit. I'm like, if I lose one more fucking thing, and I'm like, I am going through every pocket of every camping bag because I guarantee I threw and I already know where one thing is. I know that he borrowed my speakers for my headphones or my helmet, and that I was out this ski season, so he got me
this is the best.
And I know that those speakers are still in his helmet, and I'm going to go back to that ski helmet and be like, I'm collecting every fucking fork, not because I'm petty, but because I have done this
Sarah has lost custody of high value items, and I'm mad about it. I'm looking at you. I won't say the name and the GoPro.
Yep. I know where I left it. I left it. You know when you do that thing where you're like, oh, I'm going to leave these here so that it's a conversation later because you're like, oh, this is an important enough item where nobody would not call me about that.
Yeah.
They'd be like, hey, you left this thing here.
Right.
Enough time passed where I was like, I have to call about that. And then, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh.
No. What?
You get that frother.
I'm getting the every fucking thing. I'll never forget when I got divorced. My therapist said, Sarah, you get a lawyer and you say, I want everything I am legally entitled to, not a penny more and not a penny less.
That's right. I wish
not
I
a
had
penny
done
more. That. And because too many women don't do that. They're like, I just want to
want
spare
the
them because I'm going to be giver. Yeah. And I was like, bring on the pain. And then they threatened me, I'll have every no, I will call your bluff. And I do. I am just enough neurodivergent to, if you put something in writing that sounds like maybe they mean it as a threat or like she won't actually go through with this, I'm like, well, that sounds like a task I have to complete. And then I do it. And then they're like, oh shit, she wasn't supposed to do that. And haha. So anyways, now I digress. What are we even talking about?
I think you were very generous in this segment. I think I was.
Yeah, you were.
I would very much like to have a monologue where I share feelings and thoughts and tell stories.
Yeah.
And I won't do that.
Yeah. We'll
You're
save
welcome.
that for a Brain Candy book club.
Yeah, we'll talk shit in the Candy Club. If you'd like to join, that is on our website, thebraincandypodcast.com, because I have a lot to say.
Yeah, you get to say that. I think
because Sarah is a very nice lady, and she deserves the best.
Thank you, Suze.
Everybody knows this.
I deserve the best, and I feel like I've been robbed out of many things recently. One of them being the motherfucking Northern Lights being visible for the first time in recorded history in the United States, in my hometown, not hometown, in where I live, but where I'm going to go back to. And I'm not, people are taking pictures of it, sending it to me. Have I ever experienced, is this what people felt like when they didn't see the eclipse? Because I apologize for being so braggy about it.
We were so smug.
I was so smug.
Yes, I'm so
How
sorry.
dare I? Suze, never has the FOMO been worse.
Okay.
I'm like, there is nothing I want to see more. It's right, because if I can't go to outer space, I want the outer space to come to me.
Do
see
you
what I'm
think
saying
that
here?
do you think it was as good as the real deal?
Yeah, because
Oh.
my friend Allie, shout out to Allie, took pictures and
Pretty great.
gorgeous. I posted something that said like, I never have I been so upset about missing out on something, and she was like, oh, then you're gonna hate these photos, and I was like, I hate them. You're gonna have to
Explain this
adjust.
to
Sorry,
me.
Andrea, I yelled a lot in that segment. I'll stand back next time.
Why are the Northern Lights basically the opposite of fireworks, where like the photo is better than the real thing?
Oh shit, is that real?
Yeah, because they're not as great just from your eyeball.
Do you need light to illuminate them, or do they get drowned out in light? Dude, I don't know. The
I don't
pictures were
know.
fire.
Yeah, the photos are amazing.
Okay, we need to. Well, Susie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Right.
going to, because now I'm on like a Sarah quest to just like live her best life, and this is
Yeah.
the year of wonder
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
How do we somehow, maybe at the end of the year, get a trip to Iceland in there?
I think we just book it.
Okay, I need to go do this with you.
Really? We have to go? and
Susie,
check?
don't you think that would be the most fun trip we could go? And that feels cozy and like luxurious, not like I'm not taking you camping or something, but we
That's
could
right.
still sleep under
It
the
is kinda
stars
like
in like a
both-
little yes. I think
Yes.
this is great.
This is the overlap in the Venn diagram.
And I have many travel deals. I'm very excited.
All
We're
right.
going to Iceland, people.
This is not a travel deal, but this is a great deal. And this is also a Venn diagram of things that Sarah and I can both get excited about, which is my new litter robot for my cats.
You got a litter robot?
Yeah, I got a litter robot and it's awesome. And it's like this huge, awesome thing where they go inside and do their duty.
Are you telling me
Yeah.
that one of our new sponsors is a litter robot?
Yeah. I am
Susie,
telling you that.
I'm going to tear up because I have been hanging out with a kitten, and now
You got to get
your
a
girl
litter robot.
has to get a cat.
They're the best, Sarah.
I mean, when I show you this cat that I've been hanging, I'm like, oh, cats are fucking
It was
cool.
so
I
playful
didn't
with
know.
that dog. And went up in the tree like a little rascal.
I mean, and my only thing is like, I just don't want to touch the litter, and I want something
well,
to do
you're
it.
in luck.
It's
You
meant to be.
are in luck.
Tell me everything.
This thing, you know how like usually technology is overblown and then you get it and you're like, this isn't that great. This is so great. It's self-cleaning. This is the only bad thing
This
about
is-
cats.
Correct. This is what held me back from the.
They solved the problem. It cleans after every use.
I
And
even
so
know
the
where
cats
I'm gonna
go
put
in
it.
there and have their moment, and then they come out and it's like, "Ooh," and it goes around, and there it goes out of my life forever. And it's, you know how like everyone that has a cat, you walk in their house and you're like, oh, they have a cat.
Correct. That's
Well,
what I'm trying to
this
avoid.
is very helpful because then it's
I
not
know.
stinky. It's not that
know.
grossness and weirdness. And it gives data on like if they weigh more, it'll be like, whoa, too much smalls there, lava. You know what I mean? Like it'll say if they're getting bigger and like other health data. It'll tell you.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so cool. As a special offer to listeners of the show, go to stopscooping.com/brain candy. Enter the promo code brain candy to save an extra $50 on any litter robot bundle, an extra $50 off any litter robot bundle at stopscooping.com/brain candy and enter promo code brain candy. Check out stopscooping.com/brain candy. Enter promo code brain candy. It's awesome.
Well, now I gotta go I gotta show you this cat. You have to.
I mean, you want to bring it
hang
on
on
right now?
Yeah, I do. Hang on.
Oh my God.
Look at my best friend. I mean,
Oh
second
my
best friend. Sorry, Susan.
God.
Wait, you stay there. You stay there. Okay.
Oh
look at the
my
baby.
God.
I mean,
She's
this
beautiful.
is Soleil.
Soleil, I love your little hat. It's like she's wearing a little like mask and hat.
Just so cute. And you just
She's
curl
real-
up into a little ball.
She's real sweet.
And she nuzzles with me. And she curls up. Look at this
Look at
cat.
her.
Well, she's real tired because she's been hunting all night long because that's what she does.
I mean, I can't believe you don't have a cat. This is
you. So now I have to get a cat because I'm like, which is so funny because Eli really wanted to get a cat. And I was like, adamant, no, we cannot get a cat. I don't want one. And now so I'm getting a cat.
Yes, you have to.
I know, I'm so excited.
They're so sweet. Is that a boy or a girl? So
That's a boy, but I think it's a
get a
girl
boy.
because come on, why? Oh, get a boy.
Yeah, they're nicer.
Oh, this cat is the best. Okay,
Boy
I'll let
cats
you
and
out.
girl
Hang on.
dogs. That's what they say.
That's what my mom has, and they're like best buds. I want that.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's the best.
It's just the best. So yeah, there'll be a cat in my future. So I'm really glad to know that. That
Okay.
was like the universe was like, here you go, Sarah. Everything. Oh, what excuse do you have now? Anyways,
We'll get you a little litter robot and you'll be in business.
yeah. All right. So we talked about. Do you want to hear about stuff? I got actual brain stuff,
love
because
stuff.
I've just been burying myself in brainy things and.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
else can I
That's your coping
research?
strategy.
Oh, and this may be, this is kind of a funny story to come after this, but so I saw this, or am I talking about boys suck? But I saw this story about a UK 12 and under girls soccer team that has gone undefeated this whole entire year, and they weren't even well, let me pull up my info. They weren't even it's not like they went out saying we're going to make an all-girls team here. They were just girls that got together in this 12 and under league, and they have been doing so well that they started playing the boys teams, and they finished top of their league, 0 defeats, and they won. They won all the girls teams, beat all the girls teams, 18 wins, 4 draws, 0 defeats. So then they went on to play the boys team. They beat 11 teams in the boys league, scoring 61 goals and only conceding 11 to in the boys league.
Great.
And I love this. And they call themselves the Invincibles, and they're just the cutest little things. Look at these little girls just being all stinking cute. Oh my God, we just love them. And so I read that and it got me thinking. I think that girls and boys should play on the same team and in the same leagues until 12.
Yeah.
And here's why. Because girls outpace boys in growing. And if all those boys on those teams, those 11 teams that they slaughtered, fair to say, are going to have a different attitude about girls in sports growing up.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh no, I'll pick her because I've been beaten by a girl before and I know that she can definitely win. And
why do they separate them?
I don't know. I don't think they should. I think that we need to change that because I think boys would have a different attitude about the capabilities of girls and then women if they played and they got their asses fucking handed to them before they were 12. Because from 7 to 12, those girls are winning every game. They're bigger, they're stronger, they mature faster, they got a higher reach. They come on. You're going to have maybe a few boys who are going to outpace them, but they're just there to kind of I don't know, prove give the girls something to try harder against. Come on. I'm going to say, and anytime, our friend Tiffany, her daughter plays on she's the only girl or maybe on an all boys basketball team, and one of my favorite things in her videos is when she just puts up videos of her daughter crushing these little boys, and I'm like, yes, get it. I love it. So I think we need more of this.
When we did our episode of Things We Got Wrong where we talked about the Olympics, we were going to talk about women in sports and stuff, but we didn't have enough time, and I was just what we got, well, not necessarily us, but society got wrong about women's sports is thinking that they weren't interesting or worthy of watching.
Yeah.
And how women's basketball, it was never on prime time until this year. And then what happens when it's in prime time is people watched it.
Yeah. They don't
it's almost like we assumed.
Girls consume.
Well, that's right. Yeah. And
then when the girls are into it, the boys want to be into it because look forget, all those boys in elementary school wear those Taylor Swift bracelets because the girls are into it and then it's cool. And it's
That's true.
7 to 12-year-old girls who are running the world. Just let them.
Yeah, it's so sad what happens to all of us.
I know.
Where then
Oh,
we
God.
grow boobs and get like
Dude.
weird
Suze.
and self-conscious.
I was watching an old clip. Do you remember that Dove? I think it was a Dove commercial or something like that. It was like, show me how you run like a girl. Do you remember this?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll find it and we'll post it on. I'll find and post it on my Instagram. But Dove was saying, would ask like teenagers and like young adults, okay, run like a girl, like actors, and they would be like, oh, I can't, like, you know, doing that kind of like very stereotypical damsel in distress kind of run that's ridiculous that no woman runs like.
Yeah.
And then they asked like 6 to 8-year-old girls, run like a girl. And they ran like themselves and ran their little hearts out and like real fast. And they said, what do you think that means? And they go, like run real fast, like run as hard as you can. Bawling my eyes out. And you're just like, what happens? What happens between the ages of 12 and...
Well, and that goes for math testing too, not just athletics. It's like once other people plant the seed of like, you're not good at that, whatever it is, math or sports, then we internalize it and it affects our performance. And I'm mad about it.
I'm really mad about it. I do see change. I think
Yeah,
that is really
hopeful.
promising. You know, when I hear all the stories about like, you know, a little kid in school is like little boy is like shooting a basket and yells like Caitlin Clark, you know, and like when he makes a
nice.
3-point shot that like they're yelling out women's names. And it's just like that's a household name now is the coolest. And I
Did
want
we
more
talk
of
about?
that.
I don't think we did. A Brainiac sent me this thing about how in the women's hockey league, you know, it's a typical jersey and then, you know, their names and then the number, and that often their hair is so long that it covers their names, and that's stinks because then they're not going to get as much name recognition and the fans knowing who they are and stuff. And so Molson Beer decided to sponsor the jerseys. So their logo is now where their hair is. And then they put their names beneath the number and they did a campaign that was like, we hit our name so you don't have to or something
I
like
love
that.
it. Oh, that makes me want to cry. And it's like beer. Like, and it's so
that's a
freaking
good
smart.
campaign.
Because then people are going to look there anyway, looking for the jersey. And then they see the beer. And then, that we need more of that.
Yeah, because I would never have said the name Molson in my life except for this
Now
story.
I'm like, I don't even like beer, but now I got to drink it.
Yeah, and that you don't think about the placement of the name with men's sports as much because they tend to have short hair.
Yes. Yes, I never thought about that, but that's so true.
Yeah.
I love it. Good fact.
Yeah, there is hope. There is good things. I'll tell you what else those athletes need, and that's Liquid IV.
Oh, man.
Whew,
I've been
working
living
their
on that.
buns off.
I brought a whole bunch of with me to Costa Rica because even though it's really hot and humid out here, I get so dehydrated. Maybe it's because I'm drinking with my mom. But we need some Liquid IV.
Everybody needs Liquid IV, whether it's for hydration because you're libating or maybe you're working out or just it's hot in the summer. And traveling, of course, you can throw it into your bag, your purse, your car, whatever. Just keep it with you. It's a little pouch. You pour the powder into your water and it, number one, tastes great because they have a million different flavors that you will love. And it has the electrolytes and all the vitamins and things that help you get hydrated 2 times or more than just plain old water. All those vitamins. They even have sugar-free flavors now, which I love. And they're just great to have on hand. It's important to be hydrated. Turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code CANDY at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code CANDY at liquidiv.com.
Yes.
Okie doke.
Okay, so what fun facts do I want to tell you? Do you want to... I want to share this one with you. I think it's really interesting. I saw some data, like a data graph that was made on the cause of death by genre, music genre. So of the artist.
Of the artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which category And I'm going to give you the categories: blues, jazz, country, gospel, R&B, pop, folk, world music, rock, electronic, punk, metal, rap, and hip hop. Of all of those, which one do you think died the most by accidental death?
What are the years? Do we know?
Oh, they have everything. They have, they didn't put, you know what? They didn't even put years on here. It's like, I feel like all time.
Okay.
Or I would say, what do you think is like going to stand out in like some of the higher numbers?
I guess I would have guessed rock.
Yeah, rock, believe it or not, comes in pretty like middle of the road.
No way.
No standouts. Here, this is really interesting. So, how about I just tell you, because this is fucking hard to guess. Punk and metal have the highest rates of accidental death and suicide.
Duh.
And I feel like accidental with punk and metal, it kind of makes sense. It's not like they're like
They need
jumping
drugs
off
though,
things.
right? Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sarah,
Right.
you're so fucking naive.
Well, yeah, you're
like,
nice.
oh, they
you
fell
were like
off
they
of
fell
a-
off a chair or
I
something.
did think that. Ah! Oh my God. Like they didn't mean to die. That is 100% it. The blues and jazz artists had the
Come
lowest
on.
rates
Oh, lowest?
of accidental suicide or homicide. Blues,
Okay.
jazz, country, gospel, real low.
Yeah.
But they
okay.
happen to be really high in heart-related deaths and cancer.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that adds up for me.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Do you think it's more correlated to
class?
race?
Class, which is often, socioeconomics and
Yeah. Ethnicity.
just, like where you live and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what
And
you eat, too.
Yeah.
Because if you're, whenever
Oh,
you're heavier.
yes.
Yeah.
Because, but here's where it gets different. Rap and hip hop, lowest levels of heart-related disease and lowest levels of cancer.
What are they high in?
They're high in homicide.
Oh, man. Right. So that's not classified under accidental? Right. Because
No,
that's
because it's
intentional.
homicide. That somebody killed them.
Yeah.
Not I accidentally died.
Yeah. Okay.
That's like Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah, there's a lot of that still to
yeah.
this day.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then who else
What's
were the standout numbers?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what-
gospel and R&B have the lowest rates of suicide.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
They actually had the lowest rates of they had very low rates of everything across the board. Gospel, folk music was very high in cancer.
What?
Surprisingly.
Oh, yeah, because they're into granola and stuff. Like Joan Baez or, even Joni Mitchell, actually. I mean, she would probably be pop or rock, but I mean, she's folk, if you ask me.
The blues is number one for heart-related illness. Jazz is
those
number
guys
one for
are not-
cancer. And folk is number one, or folk, well, jazz and folk are tied for cancer.
Wow. Country is just hanging in there.
Country, low rates of pretty much everything. A little bit high in the heart-related death. 23.5% of deaths are heart-related. In fun chart.
That
Think
is a
about
fun
what
chart.
kind of, I love it. I love just like, give me the data on stuff. Just how people passed away. And yeah, metal. Because it's interesting, you can think about the people in each category who died by suicide. Like I was just listening to a whole thing on Kurt Cobain. And then I was talking about Bradley Knowles of Sublime. And I would put both of those into kind of like the punk metal.
I have real affection for like death metal people and
Yes.
like those, because my brother's really into that. And I found, as we discussed at WrestleCon, because they were similar, that they're very sensitive people.
And suicide, number one.
Yeah, I feel that people that express themselves in that way, that find that music soothing because it's like a cathartic experience, are people that are just have really tender spirits. And you don't think that because they look so tough and they have that.
And so they
black
need the most
metal
love.
and Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But like, who would predict that if you didn't know that community? They're just
Yeah.
like really nice people.
Yeah.
Like, there's this guy, I'm going to get it wrong, but I think his band is called Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, yes, that's a band. Yeah.
And the lead singer is obsessed with claw machines.
Oh.
And so he does them all the time, but then he donates all the things to like children's hospitals and stuff. And he
That's
like
adorable.
collects like all these stuffies for kids.
This is how I felt when I watched the Insane Clown Posse's documentary. And I was like, am I like a
What do
fan
they call
now?
those
Like,
people? There's
yeah,
like
I
a name
can't.
for
The,
them.
oh, the juggalos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
a
am I one of
juggalo.
those? Like these guys are the nicest. They're like performing the most like kind acts towards them and caring about everyone. And like,
yeah.
they just want love.
Yes. I feel like
We
they
got
get
it
into
backwards.
it. Yeah. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Sarah.
Ah, you're welcome. Okay, what other? I watched an interesting documentary. It was called Shitthropocene. Yeah,
Oh, on Netflix.
the one. Yes, it's
It
from.
keeps trying to get me to watch that.
It's Patagonia. I watched it on YouTube, but it's a documentary that's produced by Patagonia, and it's all about why we consume the crap that we consume, and like. I think it's like the troposphere, like it's like some reference to like the atmosphere. Because let me tell you, when I tried to Google the name of this, Google kept updating because I had my safe search on. Google was like, no, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
And, and shit troposphere. And so it's a great documentary. It really breaks down. So, when we watched the, what was the
Oh yeah.
the Brandy Melville one. And it was a good documentary because it showed a lot of the story of Brandy Melville, the company, and it talked a little bit about the fast fashion industry, but it didn't explain like how we got there and why we got there. And I liked hearing, and this documentary did exactly that. It talked to historians about the rise of fashion and why we even have like a consumption of clothes in the way that we do. And so it's this historian, this like very smart woman. What was her name? It's like Soleil something, which is the same name as my cat, which is why I remembered it. And my cat, I say like it's mine, the cat. But so she was talking about, they were saying like, how did we get from caveman to like the place where we were like not even wearing clothes to where we are today. And she said, let me tell you a story about architecture. And she was saying how early homes only had hooks. They didn't even have closets because we didn't have clothes. We had 2 sets of clothes. They would say you have one for the sod and one to talk to God. And there would be a set to wear for working and a set for going to church.
Yeah.
And that was
sacred and profane.
Oh, I like
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would be it. And that the real change happened, and I just loved like hearing about this fact. So Louis the 14th, this in France. Then we fast forward. Like we're like, that's kind of how clothing has been. It's like one for church, one for work. Until we get to France at the time of Louis the 14th. At the time, they're trying to like grow France's economy and grow the business in France. And France has a big business, like a textile business. They make these fine silks. So Louis the 14th of France got together with his finance minister, this guy Jean Baptiste Colbert, and they developed the French silk industry. And they made this law that you couldn't trade any fabrics or silks with anybody else. You had to buy from here. And then they made it so you can only sell certain fabrics at a certain time of year. So at the end of the year is when they allowed the production of silks and velvets. Like you had to switch. Before, maybe you could buy like cottons or linens or whatever. But then they're like, okay, starting from this point on, only allowed velvets and silks. So you have to buy those. And then in order to differentiate between last year's silks and this year's silks, the pattern makers created different patterns to differentiate between who had the previous season silks in order to like boost the industry, and this really helped like grow the economy and of
Like just knowing that there was like a last year's and this year's
Yes.
was, yeah.
yes,
Okay.
that it was not a thing until then, and then once this kind of started, it became like there were laws and royal decrees that regulated dresses and luxury items. And they said, you're not allowed to buy these outside of here. You're only allowed to buy these at certain times. And because of that, it changed the patterns and the styles and basically started seasonal fashions.
I'll tell you what else is seasonal, and that is HelloFresh, because they send over these recipes with like seasonal
Yes.
ingredients,
They
stuff.
change it up. You'll never get bored.
never get bored. It's like the produce is seasonal and it's picked at like peak ripeness. So I swear it tastes better than if I just cooked from regular ingredients that I get at the store.
And I'm like, hello, just
Fresh.
like, I got to cook by myself. It's like just me.
Yes.
And
Right.
I need you know how I hate food waste.
That's right. That's the
And so
thing.
this guaranteed no food waste.
Yeah, it's efficient. You get exactly what you need. You can make a meal. Then Sarah gets the double, so then she has leftover
Yes.
portion too.
Always.
But
Then I
these
have
are-
lunches the next 2 days.
You can customize. You can change the date when you get it. It's all very easy. It prevents you from having to go to the darn store, which I hate doing. Go to HelloFresh.com/BrainCandySweet for free dessert for life.
Whoa.
1 dessert item per box while subscription is active. That's free dessert for life at HelloFresh.com/BrainCandySweet. That's a new code. How great is that? Decadent desserts. I love this.
Yeah.
Would you say then, if we have that as like one of the big moments that
Yeah.
changed consumption? Obviously, I think social media has to be one of them, because
Oh, 100%.
I mean, people feel like they
100%.
cannot wear the same thing on two
Yes.
pictures or something.
Yep. If you were to do a timeline of pivotal moments in fashion and the consumption, and I'm excited because
Yeah.
I have 10 minutes left of this documentary, so maybe they'll get to that.
I hope so, because that I remember I've told you this actually before, but there was a picture I posted and some dude wrote, "I've already seen this outfit,"
Oh,
as if like I wear a different outfit every day, like I'm Princess Kate or something.
right. But even she gets applauded if she wears the same thing. Like, look
So
at how
true.
Yay,
Yes.
she's being resourceful.
environmentalist.
Right.
Right,
Making a
as if it's some
statement.
big deal. But did you
Oh,
ever have
no.
anybody say anything about your clothes?
Suze, I have only worn the same dress to every red carpet that I've ever done. I love it so much that it's now become a bit that I do. I still have that dress because I love this show
You're
called
like
Broad
Tiffany
City.
Haddish.
Yeah. And Broad City did this whole bit where she's got this blue dress and she like one of the characters like it's like every time she goes to a fancy event she spends a bunch of money on it, and I will never forget that I bought that dress when I first started dating Landon, and I was like,
Was it pricey?
Yep, it was
Okay.
a BCBG dress. It was $495. I'll never forget. And for me, that was like so much money, or maybe like $395.
That is
but
a
it
lot
was
of money.
It
It
was
is,
so. Maybe I
still.
probably had. I was so like, oh my god, I can't believe. I called my mom. I paced around Nordstrom's. I was like, am I really gonna do this? She's like, Sarah, you are gonna get so much use out of that dress. Trust me. And then I got it in my mind. I'm gonna get use out of this
It
dress.
was a competition again.
I wore that on the Hunger Games red carpet. I wore that at the GLAAD Awards. I wore that at the premiere of The
VMAs.
Real World. I wore that at the VMAs. Girl is getting her use out of that dress. I wore that at Eli's gala. We went, please. See, it's and your girl still fits in the
Yeah,
dress.
it does.
It's been 15
and
years.
It's a great dress. And
It's a
every
great
time you
dress.
wear it, people love it. It's not like people are
It's
like,
a crowd
"Ugh,
pleaser.
ew."
I know.
Yeah.
Shout out to BCBG.
Maybe you should give consulting about how to pick a good dress, though. That
Oh, I
can
can pick.
be
I
that.
can do that. This dress, it was perfect. It was.
Yeah.
It is perfect. If God, you know what? If my house ever, God forbid, ever catches a flame, I'll just grab that and run out.
Just a
'Cause
flame. That's what you would save.
I'm
Yeah.
saving the dress. Because I can't get it back. It was the best dress.
Right, but you can pull it off somehow. It's so annoying. You are you have a great look where you can wear the same thing, and then because your hair is so like one day it's curly, one day it's like slicked back, one day that is nice for you.
I can look like a different character.
That's cool. Yeah, you have different like vibes you can do.
It's like a different avatar you get to change up. You're like, oh, this time we're big. Yeah, because when I had black hair, it looks like a very different dress than with big blonde curly hair.
Yeah. So is Patagonia trying to say like, hey, like,
well, and they in this documentary talk a lot about like the mistakes that they've made with, like they made these waders or gaiters or whatever they're called. Maybe they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
And there was a big problem with them. They like the seam on the butt was made it so they weren't waterproof. And then they had like hundreds of thousands of pieces of merchandise. So I'm right at the point in the documentary where I think they use the material to then change it into something, but it's going to cost the company a whole bunch of money to do so. And that I love a company that like puts their money where their mouth is, and they're willing to take a loss if they recognize that it's better for the environment or overall. Like they're okay with that, and they do that. And like the people who work for them, and like it's like, these are the people who you want. Some of them were like, how do I do my doing their hair for the first time ever? Like you are not used to being on. They're just the cutest. This one woman's like her assistant comes in and is like, you got to fix this or else you're really gonna hate this in the video. Like when you see
they're not a vain people.
No, they are not. She's like the director of fish and wildlife like considerations or something. Like adorable. So I recommend it. It's weird to even say shittenthrope or something like that.
Oh, like misanthrope.
Yeah, shitthropocene. Shit.
Oh, like Anthropocene. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Shitthropocene. So hard to say.
Yeah, I don't.
And then Google was like,
Yeah. I think that they could have workshopped that a little longer, the title, but that's all right.
Yeah, and then they talk about advertising and how advertising transformed our dissatisfaction into a desire to buy something.
I mean, listen, I know that this show relies on sponsors. You know, we're a part of the consumption thing where we're saying, hey, you should buy this thing. I get it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's a situation, I see this most with like female beauty stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so influenced by it. I'm like, ugh, I have a hump on my back or some like thing that I didn't know. Like they'll tell you have a problem that you didn't know you had, and then they'll provide the remedy.
Well, I think this documentary does a good job of addressing the fact that it is a like catch-22 kind of situation in a way. Like we as human beings alive on this planet have a drive to consume, we need things to live. Yeah. But there's a smarter way to consume, and there's a way to get the rewards that we want from these things in a way that's like through sustainability and through things that really like give to us rather than cheap shit.
Right.
That is what I think the takeaway what I took away from it is that it is like moving away from shit, like crap. Like if we keep creating crap, that will add to the waste. But if we create things and consume things and that's why we're so picky about the sponsors that we have. Because we have to consume things. What are we going to not cook on pans? What am I going to not eat food?
Right.
But if I'm going to, I want to get it from here. I want to get it from this place. So we have to be a responsible consumer. And that is the most important thing because we are never going to not consume. I'm not going to be that weird off the grid person who's like, oh, look at this. I whittled my own shoe. No, fuck that. I'm going to need a pair of Rothy's. Sorry. But I'd like them to be made from plastic bottles.
Right. There are ways to do it where the problems are fewer.
Yeah. So that's it. We're consuming.
I remember when I think it was Patagonia, the owner said, I forget. It was like some big headline where it was like they're divesting or they're
Oh yeah,
He's giving away their money. or
yeah, all of the
something.
earnings.
But then you know how it is, where there's the headline and then the think pieces and the opinions and
Oh,
whatever.
I think they put their money where their mouth is.
I know it was such good news, but then there were articles that were like, it's not what you think. It's not as great as you think. Because at the end of the day, Patagonia is still a for-profit company.
Right.
So this isn't Mother Teresa going on right here.
Right. Somebody's making money, but they're doing a good. But they like bought up freaking Argentina or like Patagonia, like to protect it and give it back to like the far because they were trying to like the I don't know Chilean like they were like, oh, let's sell off Patagonia, and they're like, no, we'll buy it, and then they like, here you go, farmers, you can have it back. People, indigenous people to that area.
Yes. Right.
Keep doing what you're doing. They're protecting it. They're like buying it to protect it, which I like.
Speaking of, I heard this thing on NPR the other day about indigenous languages, and there's always this hand wringing about like if a language like the last person that speaks a certain indigenous tongue is dying, and what are you gonna do? Why is that such a big deal? I get it. Like you want to preserve.
I guess, like they're just the lost art of it in the same way that like the last of anything is like, please, I get sad when it's the last potato chip.
I guess I think that it's more than just like a momentous thing where they're like, oh.
Yeah, it's like definitely a little more intense than a potato chip.
No, I'm just saying that like it feels more than they're upset more than just like this is the end of an era. They're like, this was an emergency and we all effed up.
Yeah, I do feel like that because there's no way to get it back. Because like a lot of things, like, anybody who's learned Spanish in a classroom versus learning Spanish in any Spanish-speaking country will tell you that there's a difference between learning it from a book and it's like, oh yeah, I was pronouncing this. Like, come on.
So once I think immersion a lot of those is things off the table, it's a feeling of like
and like context, like things can't be translated. You need the cultural roots to understand the full, like, I don't know, the colors of the language, like to the full scope of it or whatever the word is.
Yeah. Okay. Just curious.
Yeah. It's good to think about, though.
It was. I was really into the story, but then I was like, well, wait, why?
Yeah.
What is the emergency about it?
Like, imagine, like, we've got, like, the Rosetta Stone that, like, translated these languages or whatever, and what if, like, one of them was, like, some lost language and somebody, like, from back in time, it's a traveler machine comes back and goes, you pronounce it that way? What?
I could ask 1,000 people this question and nobody would have gone with, what if a time traveler comes back?
Well, I'm just saying that we don't know how we're pronouncing things. It's kind of like what we assume about what dinosaurs look like. We don't know what the fuck color they are. We don't know what things are like once they're gone, and we don't have any like recorded,
Whenever I posted that thing about the Chinese zoo that's making
dogs
into pandas, somebody wrote like, if they try to make something look like a dinosaur, we gotta like, right? Like,
right.
We draw the line.
Yeah, I draw the line at extinct animals. So they're like, I've got this dodo for you to see. I'm like, wait.
If I lived anywhere near that zoo, I would be going though. So it's a brilliant business model.
Daily. Because I'm just like, what weird shit do they like? What do they got going? I don't want to miss it. I want to be the first on the scene to the dogs dressed up as pandas. So fucking cute.
I don't even.
That is not a panda.
Yeah, they had dogs.
I saw that dog last week on Pet Finder.
Yeah, it was like, listen, we all know what you're doing. We're fine with it, but
come on, buddy. Yeah,
they could just admit it.
Yeah,
and we would still go.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Let's wind down. Sarah had a breakup. Okay,
I had a breakup.
Don't make a big deal about it.
If you know somebody who would love me.
Yes. We need
about
a
6 to 8 months.
Email.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that. I'm going to set up an email where you can just send love prospects.
I got this person for you.
Do
I am
they
this
have to be
person
in
for you.
Denver though, okay?
Yeah, I'm not relocating. I told you I'm not moving in with anybody.
Unless they want to come to
You
Denver.
want to come to Denver? Come to Denver. But I'm not going nowhere.
No.
And long distance, I'm not going anywhere.
Let's limit it to Denver. Let's not be crazy.
Let's not be crazy.
What about Colorado?
Colorado.
Okay. What about the north, the west?
I mean,
Okay, Colorado, but hopefully Denver.
yeah.
All genders may apply.
All genders may apply. Yep. All girls
Any
soccer teams are
other?
crushing
Do you have
it.
any other things that are like it's got to be certain things?
I mean, you have to like camping. You just
Are you serious?
100 fucking
It's
percent.
a deal breaker if they
Yep.
don't like camping.
Yep. Yep,
You
it
meet
is.
the man of your dreams, the woman of your dreams.
And because the woman of my dreams would not like camping. The woman of my dreams likes that.
Okay, I can see this because I just thought of music, and I thought if someone was like, I don't.
Oh,
care about
what you
music.
gonna be like? Yeah,
Yeah,
you gonna go on a second date with that person? That says a lot more about you're like, oh, you can't, and then you're not gonna want to hike, and then you're gonna be like, oh, there's a bug, and it's like gonna be a whole thing, and then what am I gonna take you to Costa Rica? Where we gotta here, and you're gonna be no, can't hang. We've been down this road. It's a must camp, deal breaker.
That's crazy. What about POW? Do they have to love POW?
I think here's the thing. In Colorado, that's shooting fish in a barrel. I am more eligible as a dating partner because I do those things. Because other people who do those things are like, man, I wish I had a partner who did those things. And I'm like,
This is shocking.
and I was just at a comedy club the other night, and not the other night, I've been in Costa Rica, but a few weeks ago. And the comedian on stage was like, what did you like about her? To like the man who was clearly on a date with this woman. And he was like, she's outdoorsy. And I was like, that's the bar. And my mind was like, oh my God, this is so going to be so easy. Wow. And I can say this now. I have been to 3 comedy shows since then. At every single comedy show I go to, somebody gives me their number.
Wow.
Comedy shows are where it's at, man. Because here's why. They take your phone away, so then you have to hang out with people, and then people are like forced to schmooze, and if you get there early, you have an hour to wait there, and then, you talk to people, and they give you their numbers.
I'm fascinated. I want to be like an ethnographer and just observe what is happening.
Oh my
when
God.
You go out.
But I also said, I'm in line, and I actually was like, so, do you come here often?
Oh Lord. Oh no.
It's not good, Suze. It's not good.
It doesn't matter though. That's the beauty of being
And
a
then
hot
the person
woman.
behind me was like,
oh no, they weren't taking the bait.
No, the person who overheard me say this to the person standing next to me.
I can't. That is classic.
It was like,
You come here often.
Sarah.
Sarah
And then
thought she was
I
in a
stuck
rom-com.
for 40 minutes in line with standing next to this person. Like, what? I meant that. Do you come
Did
to
they
comedy
say
shows
yes
a
or
lot?
no?
I said, yeah, I do.
And then what?
They might have been as equally awkward as I was.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's a good prospect for you because it's probably a nice person.
It definitely was.
Because here's what Sarah does.
What do I do?
Sarah falls for salesmen.
Ugh, I know, hook, line, and sinker. Sold.
So I think if somebody's awkward, that's a green flag.
Right. This is what I'm working on with my therapist.
Yeah, because you gravitate to schmoozy,
I know.
whereas the awkward people are nicer.
I know. I need that. I need awkward.
You
Okay,
do.
awkward people apply here.
I'll set up the email. Thank you for listening, everyone. We talked about their breakup and
Girls soccer team. Oh my God, I didn't get to so much. We talked about Aurora Borealis and the Northern Lights. Now I'm mad about that. We talked about the fashion
deaths of
industry.
musical artists. I love
Deaths
that.
of musical artists. Yep.
Yeah. So thank you for using our codes and leaving us a 5-star review. Listen, Sarah, she's a single lady. She has to support herself. So if
That
you use our
is the
codes,
truth. Support me. Please. Support me. Nobody else does.
She's on her own, people.
I'm on my
if you
own.
don't support her, who's gonna? Me? What?
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing.
We have to move in with Susie. Oh God.
Oh my God, that's rock bottom.
No.
If we get to that point, people, you know it's bad.
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
have to
true.
probably move in with Sarah. Me, Adam, and Lincoln just moving in. Listen, things
I
went
would love that.
sideways. I don't know
would
what
love that.
happened.
Yep.
All right, people. See you next time. Bye. I love you.